Some of the world's most breathtaking tourist attractions are now just memories. Natural wonders, historical sites, and iconic landmarks vanished forever due to disasters, human activity, or time itself. Today, we'll take you on a journey through 15 famous tourist attractions that no longer exist. From breathtaking rock formations to ancient structures lost to war and climate change, these places were once must-visit destinations. Let's explore what happened to them and what remains today. 1. The Azure Window, Malta. The Azure Window was one of Malta's most recognizable landmarks, a breathtaking limestone arch that stood on the island of Gozo. Its stunning natural formation made it a major tourist attraction and a popular filming location, featured in productions like Game of Thrones and Clash of the Titans. The arch was formed over centuries due to natural erosion, and visitors from around the world would come to witness its beauty, take photographs, and even walk on top of it. However, its popularity also contributed to its downfall, as thousands of visitors placed pressure on the already fragile structure. Over time, the forces of nature took their toll. In 2017, a severe storm hit Malta, causing the Azure Window to collapse completely into the sea. It was a devastating moment for the country, as officials had hoped the structure would last much longer. 2nd, Maya Bay, Thailand. Maya Bay, located on Thailand's Phi Phi Islands, became world-famous after the beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio was filmed there in 2000. Its crystal-clear waters, dramatic limestone cliffs, and white sandy beach attracted thousands of visitors daily. What was once a secluded paradise quickly turned into a hotspot for mass tourism, with an estimated 5,000 visitors arriving each day by boat. Unfortunately, this led to significant environmental damage. The coral reefs, which once thrived with marine life, were dying due to pollution, sunscreen chemicals, and boat anchors. In 2018, Thai authorities made the difficult decision to close Maya Bay indefinitely to allow it to recover from years of exploitation. The government implemented strict conservation efforts, including coral restoration projects and visitor limitations. After nearly 4 years of closure, the bay reopened in 2022, but with new restrictions. Boats are no longer allowed to enter directly, and visitors must book guided tours with limited capacity. While Maya Bay technically still exists, the original carefree paradise is gone. 3. Guaíra Falls, Brazil, Paraguay. Border. Guaíra Falls was once one of the most powerful waterfalls in the world, far surpassing Niagara Falls in terms of water flow. Located on the border between Brazil and Paraguay, these breathtaking cascades were a natural wonder, attracting visitors eager to witness their immense power. The falls consisted of 18 separate waterfalls, with a combined drop of 375 feet, making them one of the most awe-inspiring sights in South America. However, in the early 1980s, plans to construct the Itaipu Dam, one of the largest hydroelectric projects in the world, sealed the fate of Guaíra Falls. Engineers decided to flood the falls to create a reservoir, permanently submerging them beneath the rising waters. Many locals protested the decision, arguing that such a natural treasure should not be destroyed for energy production. Despite efforts to preserve the area, the falls were lost forever in 1982. Today, all that remains of Guaíra Falls is the Itaipu Dam, which provides electricity to millions of people in Brazil and Paraguay. 4th, Cave of Altamira, Spain. The Cave of Altamira in Spain was home to some of the world's most significant prehistoric art, dating back over 20,000 years. The cave's walls were adorned with paintings of bison, deer, and other animals, offering a rare glimpse into the creativity and culture of early humans. Discovered in the 19th century, the site quickly became a must-visit location for archaeologists and tourists alike. Unfortunately, the popularity of the cave led to its eventual closure. As more visitors entered the cave, the increased levels of carbon dioxide from their breath began damaging the fragile artwork. Mold and fungi started growing on the paintings, threatening their preservation. In 2002, authorities decided to close the cave permanently to prevent further deterioration. Instead, a replica of the cave was built nearby, allowing visitors to experience a realistic recreation without endangering the original site. While the paintings still exist within the cave, no one can see them in person anymore. 5. Chacaltaya Glacier, Bolivia. Once home to the highest ski resort in the world, the Chacaltaya Glacier in Bolivia was a destination for adventure seekers looking to ski at an altitude of over 17,000 feet. The glacier had been around for over 18,000 years, forming one of the most unique landscapes in South America. However, by the late 20th century, scientists noticed that the glacier was rapidly shrinking. Climate change played a devastating role in its disappearance. Rising global temperatures caused the ice to melt at an accelerated rate. Scientists initially predicted that the glacier would last until 2015, but by 2009, it had completely vanished. The ski resort that once operated on Chacaltaya now stands abandoned, with only patches of snow remaining during certain seasons. 6. Nohmul Pyramid, Belize. The Nohmul Pyramid, a 2,300-year-old Mayan structure, was one of Belize's most significant archaeological sites. It stood as a reminder of the ancient Mayan civilization and was one of the most visited historical attractions in the country. Unlike other Mayan ruins, which were carefully excavated and preserved, Nohmul was largely untouched by modern tourism, making it a unique and invaluable part of history. However, in 2013, the pyramid met a shocking and tragic fate. A construction company looking for road-building material bulldozed the ancient structure to the ground. Workers stripped away the limestone blocks, destroying centuries of history in mere hours. The Belizean government launched an investigation, and several people were fined, but the damage was irreversible. 7. Lake Poopó, Bolivia. Lake Poopó was Bolivia's second-largest lake and a crucial ecosystem for local wildlife and indigenous communities. Spanning thousands of square kilometers, the lake supported fishing industries and was home to flamingos, fish, and other aquatic life. Its gradual disappearance was not an isolated environmental issue, but a combination of human activities and climate change. Decades of excessive water diversion for mining and agriculture, combined with rising global temperatures, led to the lake drying up completely in 2016. The impact was devastating. Thousands of fishermen lost their livelihoods, entire communities were forced to relocate, and countless animals perished. Although the lake has dried up before in history and later returned, experts warn that this time may be different due to the severity of environmental damage. What was once a thriving ecosystem is now a barren desert landscape, marking another irreversible loss in the fight against climate change. 8. Wedding Cake Rock, Australia. Located in the Royal National Park in Australia, Wedding Cake Rock was a striking natural formation famous for its pure white sandstone and unique flat-top shape. The rock formation became a viral sensation on social media, attracting thousands of visitors eager to take photos at the picturesque location. However, experts soon raised concerns about its structural integrity. Geological studies found that Wedding Cake Rock was eroding at a rapid rate and was at risk of collapsing. Despite safety warnings and fences being installed, tourists continued to climb onto the fragile rock for photos. Eventually, Australian authorities had to completely close off access to the site to prevent a potential disaster. The rock remains standing for now, but geologists estimate that natural erosion will eventually cause it to crumble. 9. Raja Ampat Coral Reef, Indonesia. Raja Ampat in Indonesia is one of the most biodiverse marine ecosystems on the planet, attracting divers from all over the world. Its coral reefs were home to thousands of species of fish, sea turtles, and other marine creatures, making it a paradise for nature lovers. However, in 2017, disaster struck when a cruise ship ran aground on the reef, causing irreparable damage. The ship destroyed over 1,600 square meters of coral, and marine biologists estimated that it would take decades, possibly centuries, for the reef to recover. The incident was a wake-up call for conservationists and local authorities, who have since imposed stricter regulations on tourism in the area. While efforts are being made to restore the damaged reef, the destruction caused by a single human error remains a painful reminder of how fragile marine ecosystems are. 10th. Duckbill Rock, Oregon, USA. Duckbill Rock was a well-known sandstone formation located in 𝐾𝐨𝐽, Oregon. Its distinct shape, resembling a duck's bill, made it a popular photo spot for visitors to the Oregon coast. The formation had withstood natural erosion for thousands of years, but in 2016, it was suddenly destroyed. Not by nature, but by a group of vandals. A video surfaced showing individuals deliberately pushing the rock until it collapsed. When confronted, they claimed they destroyed it because one of their friends had previously injured themselves near the rock. The blatant act of vandalism sparked public outrage, as Duckbill Rock was one of Oregon's most beloved landmarks. Authorities were unable to hold anyone accountable, and the site remains permanently altered. The senseless destruction of Duckbill Rock is a prime example of how human recklessness can erase natural wonders in an instant. On Birensea, Pont des Arts, Lovelocks, Paris. The Pont des Arts in Paris was once famous for its thousands of lovelocks attached by couples from all over the world. The tradition involved lovers writing their names on a padlock, securing it to the bridge, and throwing the key into the Seine River as a symbol of eternal love. However, the sheer weight of the locks became a structural hazard. By 2014, an estimated 45 tons of locks covered the bridge, causing parts of the railing to collapse. Parisian authorities made the difficult decision to remove the locks in 2015 and replace the bridge's metal railings with glass panels to prevent future damage. The removal of the lovelocks was met with disappointment from tourists, but officials argued that preserving the historic bridge was more important. Today, while the Pont des Arts still stands, the era of lovelocks in Paris is over. 12. The Old Man of the Mountain, New Hampshire. The Old Man of the Mountain was a natural rock formation in New Hampshire that resembled the profile of a man's face. It was one of the state's most iconic landmarks, appearing on license plates, coins, and official symbols. However, years of natural erosion weakened the structure, and in 2003, the rock face collapsed entirely. Despite efforts to reinforce it with cables and steel rods, the inevitable happened, and the old man crumbled overnight. The loss was deeply felt by New Hampshire residents, who considered it a defining symbol of their state. Today, a memorial plaza stands where the rock formation once existed, allowing visitors to view the outline of the old man through a series of metal sculptures. Though the landmark is gone, its legacy remains in the hearts of those who cherished it. 13th Penn Station, New York City. The original Penn Station in New York City was a masterpiece of Beaux-Arts architecture, completed in 1910. It was an architectural marvel, featuring grand archways, massive columns, and intricate details that rivaled the world's most famous train stations. However, in the 1960s, plans were made to demolish the station to make way for Madison Square Garden and a modern underground transit hub. Despite public outcry, the station was torn down in 1963, marking one of the greatest architectural losses in U.S. history. Today's Penn Station is a stark contrast to its predecessor, known for its cramped and unappealing design. The demolition of the original Penn Station sparked a movement for historic preservation, ensuring that similar architectural treasures would not be lost in the future. 14. Crystal Palace, London. The Crystal Palace in London was an architectural wonder of the Victorian era, originally built for the Great Exhibition of 1851. Made almost entirely of glass and iron, it was one of the most impressive structures of its time, housing exhibitions, concerts, and events. However, in 1936, a massive fire engulfed the palace, reducing it to rubble. The exact cause of the fire remains unknown, but the destruction was so severe that rebuilding was impossible. Today, only remnants of the foundation remain in Crystal Palace Park, serving as a reminder of one of London's most magnificent lost landmarks. 15. The Hippodrome Theater, New York City. The Hippodrome Theater in New York was once the world's largest theater, hosting extravagant performances, circuses, and even Houdini's famous disappearing elephant act. Built in 1905, it could accommodate over 5,000 spectators and was a centerpiece of New York's entertainment scene. However, by the 1930s, the theater struggled financially and was ultimately demolished in 1939. The site was replaced by an office building, erasing any trace of the grand venue. The loss of the Hippodrome marked the end of an era in New York's theatrical history, as entertainment moved towards more modern venues. These places once amazed travelers, but today, they live on only in memories, photos, and stories. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating travel insights. Which lost tourist attraction do you wish you could visit? Let us know in the comments. Check out our next video for more travel history and hidden destinations.